Today we are harvesting our sweet potatoes. This was the only potato crop that we got last year, but this year we got a ton of Yukon Gold potatoes. So I have a feeling that we're gonna get even more sweet potatoes this year.
They look great. They're like overflowing. I think this is only one bed of sweet potatoes, but it looks like it's taken over 3 beds.
I know, so I'm so excited to get into the dirt and see what we got. So let's get to it. Since I planted, can I get first pull?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't even know how to do these.
So overgrown.
It is so overgrown. I guess I need to clear out all these vines first to see what's... Oh my goodness. Look! It's sweet potatoes! They look a little misshapen. This one's growing something out like that. But even the ones at the grocery store can look a little goofy. But they're still sweet potatoes.
That's pretty big.
And I had basil planted in here. With these, I feel like they smell like basil.
I smell it.
It smells good. Okay, put that down and let's get digging. Okay, I think just start...
Should I just get like the vines out of the way?
Yeah, but they're pulling the potatoes and I don't want to break any more of the potatoes. I think just start digging.
These are huge, but that looks like something's been in it though.
Oh my goodness. Wait, show them that if you can get it out. That is so much more than we got last year.
Look at that.
That is the goofiest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. That looks like an alien baby.
They look amazing, but look, is that something?
Yeah, something burrowed holes in that. But maybe we could cut it.
But it's not.
And eat it.
It's not like all the way into it. Weird.
It's weird.
We'll look at it.
That looks crazy.
But look, something did go dig into this big one. Where's the basket?
Back there. The soil's nice and dry, which is exactly what you want when you're harvesting potatoes. So that's good. It is gonna rain today, so we knew we had to get out here this morning and get these while we could. Look at that! Oh, something has been eating them. That's annoying. Deep in there. Look at all these. There's so much dirt in my face. They look so alien-y. Alien-y. How do you say that? Alien-y. How would you say that word? They look like an alien. That's what I'm trying to say.
This one's also been eaten by something.
I smell that basil. No, there's some more. I'm finding some more. Well, that's goofy.
The soil is very interesting. What is this?
It's compost that we got from Home Depot, but it looks like it's been set on fire.
Yeah.
It's like ashy or something. I don't know.
Doesn't look right. I wouldn't want to grow in that.
We did plant some over here too, so there should be some in this corner.
I'm gonna get some of these vines out of the way. See,
had those they had replanted themselves into that bed to grow more.
They did grow more.
What? So I only planted this one bed out, but the vines have grown so much. Chris, grab that and give them a close-up right here.
So we planted in this bed, but they were vining out over the other beds.
Look right here, they're putting roots down.
Well, I just pulled a potato out of... Maybe I didn't get one here, but I just pulled a little potato out of here.
That is crazy. So I wonder, I'm gonna have to Google this, if we could take any cuttings, we might have decimated these too much, but if we could take cuttings of these and put them in like a pot and then plant these next year. Does that make sense? Because you buy slips at the grocery, or not the grocery store, but the co-op. So maybe...
Probably.
I don't know. It's probably too much work. That is crazy. See if any more rooted down. Right there. I don't think there's a potato on this one. I think it was just putting roots down. That is so crazy. See, that's why I think there might be some more way down in here too.
Yeah.
I just found another good one in here. So it's crazy that it's lodged down in there so much.
I broke it still.
That is crazy. We can wash it and eat it
But
up
I think
today.
there's definitely a lot more in these beds.
You did find more.
There's a bunch more. They're just way deep. And I'm like breaking them with my...
Yeah, these definitely have much stronger roots than our Yukon Gold potatoes. They have like really burrowed themselves down into the soil. But this one's like, there's one right here where my hand is.
You made it kind of try to dig from around it?
Uh-huh, but I don't know if you got low enough to get it. Oh yeah, you got some. There's 2 little ones. I heard something let loose. There it is. Look at that.
Is that even a sweet potato? What is that?
It's a sweet potato.
That shape is so weird.
Well, their shapes are kind of weird. But even at the grocery store, they can have weird shapes.
I still don't think we're getting deep enough. Because I feel them down there. That just broke off of what we need to be harvesting. Look at this.
Oh, that's the best one so far.
They're like hiding. They're so deep. We're not getting deep enough. Seriously, feel your hands in here.
Okay.
There's a bunch of them. I just can't get deep enough, and I don't want to just pull on them because they will break in half if I grab that and pull on it.
I did. I broke it in half.
I know. There's more though. I just don't want to just grab them and pull on them. Yeah.
That's like probably growing outside the stinking raised bed. My sweet potatoes last year definitely didn't grow like this.
I mean, we're digging all the way into the actual ground now.
That does make me wonder if it would be better for us to do it in the garden next year. I don't really know. If y'all grow sweet potatoes, let us know how you do it and if what is happening right now is normal or if we did something wrong.
Maybe that was the end of it.
I think that's the end of it. Oh wait, there is one in that corner.
Yeah, I think I gotta keep digging in here. I don't think we're done yet.
I think we're done.
You're tired of it?
Well, it's not that I'm tired of it, but I think that we're digging for like little carrot-looking sweet potatoes. I'm gonna look in this bed and see if there's any more that rooted down. Oh my goodness.
Did you find one?
I think there's more in here. Hold on, it's right around here. No, it's false alarm.
I think we might be done.
I think we're done. Well, here is one full basket of sweet potatoes from only one planted raised bed. So we really didn't plant that much. I got one container of sweet potato slips from the co-op here in Middle Tennessee where we live, and I planted it in one bed. And so we got a really good harvest, I think, for the amount that we planted.
It's not bad.
So some of these were broken in half, so we're going to take them inside and lay them all out and see what we need to do because some of them need to be dealt with immediately since we broke them.
Okay, let's go.
All right, it's been a couple of days and I'm just getting around to using our sweet potatoes. So we gave away probably 4 of these sweet potatoes to my sweet friend who works with me because she loves sweet potatoes. But we still have a bunch of these that we need to use up and do something with. Now, I'm not gonna cook all of these right now. I think what we'll probably do is just eat these fresh because we don't have that many to grow. It's not like our other potato harvest where we had so many and we wanted to cure them and all that stuff. So we will just eat on these this week and make some different recipes. But I wanted to show you a recipe that I'm gonna make for lunch today. We just got home from church and what I'm gonna make is sweet potato nachos, which I don't know if Chris is gonna love that. Trying to see his face behind the camera. But I think that it will be healthy and yummy and delicious. It should still be comforting just like regular nachos are, but we're gonna use sweet potatoes. So the first thing that I want to do is get some black beans on the stove and get our ground beef cooking. There has been a request from Chris to change the meal a little bit. I was afraid he wouldn't like it. So he wants chips and not just sweet potatoes as chips. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna roast these up and do like a sweet potato skillet. And he can still eat some chips with his and I'll just eat the sweet potatoes. So what I did right there was use some of our pepper pucks. These are actually from last year's garden. So they're just peppers that we roasted up in the oven with a little bit of water and oil, you know. And, well, we didn't roast them in water. We roasted them with a little bit of oil, roasted them in the oven, and then added a little bit of water and blended them up in the food processor after they were roasted. And then I just put them in ice cube trays and froze them. And now I just pull them out whenever I need peppers to go in anything to season it. And we've got homegrown peppers to use. So now what we're gonna do is get some ground beef. I've got a pound of ground beef right here that I'm gonna get browning up in our skillet. Now I'm gonna go through and peel our sweet potatoes. And these are dirty and gross right now, but I'm not gonna have the skin on this anyways. So instead of having to wash it twice, I'm just gonna go ahead and peel it right here on the counter. I'm never afraid to dirty up my counters because I can always clean them. And I'm just going to peel it right here and then I will get these washed up. These sweet potatoes have like holes kind of dug out in them. And I'm not really sure what caused that. If like a little insect or maybe a critter, like a mole or something was down there in the dirt. I'm actually going to see if I can break this. Yep, that'll make it easier to peel. But the sweet potato itself is still nice and firm, and it's not rotten. I can tell that it is perfectly good to eat. And so we'll just cut around those little holes so that the whole potato don't go to waste. Don't leave that in there. We got our countertops all cleaned, and I think this is all the sweet potatoes that we need because we are gonna have chips as well. What I'm gonna do is cut these into just little cubes. If you wanted to make the nachos, what you would do is cut them into, like that one's an odd shape because it was the end, but you would cut them into thin little chips like this and then roast them up in the oven, and then you could use that sweet potato as your chip. There goes our oven preheated. But we don't have to do that since we're not going to do it that way. Or I guess I could do mine like...
You could do all of it that way. I just am going to eat chips with mine. It just doesn't sound like a meal if it's just potatoes, beans, and meat.
It's a low-carb meal.
Well, I'm not on a low-carb diet.
Oh my gosh.
You make yours like that. I will just add chips to my meal. I will put mine over chips.
I know, but it'll be better on a chip if it's in a chunk. So what we're going to do today, but I just want to show that's how you do that if you want to do the nachos. What we're going to do today is just cut these into little chunks.
I probably should be on a low-carb diet.
I probably should be too.
But I'm not.
So I'm going to keep these little chunks kind of small because I want them to cook quick. We got a baking sheet with some parchment paper for easy cleanup, and I'm just drizzling some avocado oil all over these, and I'm going to toss them up in that oil. Now we're going to get these seasoned up real good. So I'm going to go in with some salt first. Salt them up pretty good. And then we're going to do a little bit of pepper. And then I'm going to do some chili powder and some cumin. And then some oregano. You could do this in a bowl and like measure out your spices that way, but this makes it to where I don't have as many dirty dishes to do. So I'm just going to go back through and make sure everything is nice and coated. And those seasonings are evenly distributed. Then I'm just going to spread this out so it's in one thin layer. And we're going to pop these in our 400-degree oven. I bet they'll be ready in like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We'll keep an eye on them. Our ground beef is all browned up, so I'm going to use our favorite Taco Bell seasoning packet. You can make your own taco seasoning mix. You can get whichever one you like at the store, but this is our favorite. I'll dump that in there, and then I'm just going to fill this with water and top it with the water. Now we'll let that cook down and let the water evaporate and let our potatoes cook, and we'll have supper ready here in a little. Or not supper. This is lunch. It's a Sunday. Lunch on Sundays always feels like supper. I don't know why. I think because growing up, Mom would make a huge meal, or my Nana would make a huge meal on Sundays for lunch after church, and then that was like our meal of the day. For supper, we might have some leftovers or something small, but it was always Sunday supper, and we ate it at lunchtime.
Well, I'm definitely having 2 meals today.
You always have plenty of meals. You never go hungry.
I'm just saying it out loud. I'm having lunch and dinner.
I know. So we don't have any queso, which is Chris's favorite when he's having nachos. And I don't have the stuff to make queso. But one thing we do have out in the freezer is some green chili cheese enchilada sauce. This has got peppers from the garden. It's a creamy, yummy base. And it's got a bunch of Monterey Jack cheese melted into it as well. This is why I love cooking a bunch whenever I do cook. Because then on days where we don't have maybe what we want in the fridge, or we don't want to run out to the store, I can just pull from what I have and make our meal that way. Now this is frozen, so I'm just getting it under some warm water so that it'll at least come free from the container. And I'm just going to drop this frozen sauce into this bowl, and we're going to defrost it in the microwave. We have our sweet potatoes done and out of the oven. So I'm just going to eat mine like a little bowl, okay? Chris is going to have his over chippies. So we'll just give him some sweet potatoes over his chips. Probably don't need that much. And then we've got enough for sure at least one more meal. Now I'm going to top mine with some of our ground beef, like that. And some of our black beans with our homegrown peppers. And then over here we have our enchilada sauce that honestly just tastes like queso. I feel like I made queso as enchilada sauce, but it definitely comes in handy for this meal. If I had sour cream, I would definitely be topping these with sour cream because that would be delicious, and a little pico de gallo would be so good, but I don't have either of those things. So we're just gonna use what we have for today. One thing I do have is some pickled peppers from the garden this year, and that is all the heat that I can afford from them because they're so spicy. And the last thing I'm gonna add to mine is a little bit of homegrown freeze-dried cilantro. And I'll do the same thing for Chris's. I'm gonna add some of our ground beef, some black beans, and then top with queso. All right, Chris, give it a taste test.
Delicious.
Never thought of having a sweet potato on a chip for nachos, but I guess he'll like it better than the low carb.
You thought of having a sweet potato as a nacho, but you never thought of having it on a nacho?
A lot of people do potato nachos. That's not like a new thing if they're trying to cut out a bunch of carbs. All right, let's just taste mine. Mine's not really like a skillet. You could make it all in a skillet. I know that's what I called it, but I guess mine is more like a bowl with sweet potatoes.
It's delicious. Those are good sweet potatoes.
Very good. 10 out of 10. I know this is nothing fancy. It's not even really like a real recipe, but a lot of times when we're cooking, especially if we haven't had time to go to the store, we love to just use what we have out of the garden or in the house. And sometimes that's just putting a bunch of stuff that sounds good together and calling it supper. So thank you guys so much for being here with us on this journey. We are going to enjoy our lunch and enjoy this beautiful weather here in Tennessee. We love y'all. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, y'all.